Alright there, Procrastinauts, mine's Pleborian, and welcome back to the Kerbal Space Program. Last time we were here, we did a little bit of a stock retrospective where we took all of our mods and threw them in the recycle bin, never to be seen again. Or at least up until now anyway. But the original plan was to try and find out if playing with mods actually detracts from the core gameplay itself. And as I was playing, I kind of forgot that I was actually doing this, so the answer to that question, I suppose, would be no. Playing with mods don't detract from the core gameplay. But today I'm going to do something a little bit different. I've got mods back out, but I've hand-picked these mods. If you remember last time, we started off the mission in the Falcon I jet here. This got us as far as the moon, and then during the EVA it decided to implode. It wasn't that good. So since then, I've created a variant. It's changed very little in design. I think the only thing that's different is that it's got a tail fin, which is going to help us when we eventually come back home. But on this there are, let's see, there are technically 3 mods there, but the main ones, the main 2 are the big game changers. The third one is this parachute, which is an overpunch parachute. I picked that because it looked a little bit better, but I'll explain the other 2 mods as we go. So we're going to hit launch. I'm going to take a sip of my monster and let's get ready. Right, the first thing that I want to go over, the first mod that I've got here, very simple mod. It's called KICOIT. I think that's what it's called, aka Kerbal Engineer. Now, this would be a part that gives us like visual data inside the VAB while you're building your rocket. Stuff that I don't understand. I've not got that. I've got a certain part of it which gives us advanced brakes, so our planes will stop rolling around on the runway and it will make things a little bit easier in the long run. As you can see, we've got ABS, we've got fucking handbrake. It's pretty good. The other mod I've got going on is the keyphane mod. What is keyphane? Keyphane is a gas that exists everywhere. You find it on Kerbin, you find it on the moon, you find it on Minmus. Basically what keyphane does, on its own it does nothing, but if you can convert it, it can be converted into both tank fuel and RCS fuel. We haven't got any RCS on this plane, actually, saying that, but that's not a problem. I'm not fussed. There are various ways. Well, there's only one way of getting keyphane, and that's drilling for it. And first, you've got to detect it. I'll go over those specifics when we come across our little drilling station I've got pre-set up. But first, I just want to get out of here. So let's engage the thrust and get ourselves ready to launch. Hopefully, we'll be able to get ourselves to the moon today with no real hiccups. Go on, you're up. Oh, yep. Alright, nice. Gear away. And now we just fight ourselves as we go up. Perfect! What I am going to do is I'm going to get ourselves about there. I'm going to take the throttle down just a tiny wee bit. And we're just going to ascend. Now, during this long process, I'm going to talk a little bit more about keyphane. Now, the way I've got this ship set up at the moment is every keyphane using ship needs to have one of these little doohickeys on. That's called a keyphane controller. That'll give us this little box here, and there you can see the functions that keyphane items give us. We can do detecting, pumping, extracting and converting. Now on this ship I can only do pumping and converting. That's the pump, that's the converter. I can also hold a bit of keyphane because I've got 4 empty tanks that we can fill up at a refueling station. Extracting, we need drills to do that, which we don't have, but I've got some set up somewhere. Important safety tip right now, what I'm going to do is I'm watching the fuel drop. When we get to about 10 litres of fuel left, I'm going to cut the fuel off and let it run from another tank. I don't know why we're going on such a skew-off angle, but let's sort that out. Come on, hold yourself there. You call yourself a space plane going completely off angle. Right, okay, I've disabled the fuel and we're now going on to the next tank. Right, that's the next one that's going to burn. Right, hold yourself here. Right, basically the reason why I'm stopping the tanks from being completely drained is that if you try to refuel your craft with completely drained tanks, they just won't fail. It's the way the game operates at the moment. It's not the mod's fault, it's just the way the game is. Empty tanks can't be refilled. However, if you use your tanks effectively and carefully, you can just go disable flow, and the fuel consumption will move on to the next tank. Now, once you've got to the moon or to your pumping station or wherever you've put it, in orbit, on a planet, wherever, you can then refill every single one of your tanks. Normally you'd just be able to fill up the ones that have got a bit of space in and haven't been completely used, but with this method you'll be able to refuel everything, and you will be amazed. You will be absolutely amazed to see what this jet can do off one tank of fuel when it doesn't have to climb through the atmosphere. It's pretty damn good. In fact, it's so good that as a future mission I'm thinking of continuing this onto other planets and such. After the Armstrongs had its day in the sun, I think I'm going to switch over to doing this, like flying space planes to other planets. Eve will be pretty easy to land on, but it will be hard to get back, depending. I haven't really accounted for gravity there, but Duna's going to be hard because there's little air, and I don't know how well my thing will react in a thin atmosphere. Other planets, other moons with atmospheres as well. It's going to be interesting. Moho's going to be a good one. I need to get myself more that way. I mean, we're at 42,000 meters, and we are still going up pretty strong. But I need to get this orbit out to about. Let's see. I don't know, about 100,000 meters, but I need to be going about 2,200 to get the orbit in the first place. 68, perfect. So I'm gonna start doing this, and hopefully we should get a fat orbit out of this while being economical on our fuel. I'm gonna close that. I'd like to know why we're tipping one way. Have we got some sort of weight issues? Ah, never mind. If we can get down to about half a tank, well, to about 100 litres, and we can do the burn off 100 litres, that won't be so bad. Let's see if we can slow this down a little bit. How fast does that go down? That's going a little bit slower, but it's all about thrust to weight, thrust to weight. How about there? How are we doing in the grand scheme of things anyway? How's this? Ooh, we're still not quite out of the atmosphere yet. Hopefully when we reach that 2,000 mark we will be. Okay, I'm going to adjust the yaw to counteract this pitching forward business, because it's rude and I don't like it. Yeah, take that. Take that, you pricks. Haha! Beaten. Right, hold on. What's going on here now? Right, okay. Disabled flow. Oh, it's alright, it's alright. Shit, I forgot all about this. The tanks have drained a completely different way. I'm used to doing this a bit differently because I sorted out the fuel glitch before. Technically it still exists now, although I don't think it does, given how quick these tanks are draining. I do know how different it can be when it comes to this. Like, I know that there was a fuel bug last time, but I think now the tanks actually drain quicker like they're supposed to. What's my apo at? Can we go a bit faster? Yes, okay, fair dues, right, okay. See, normally at this kind of thrust it'd be like 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4. We've already drained a few litres. Normally it'd be going down in points, very slow at this point. Right, okay, so not bad, not bad. Okay, so I'm going to get myself lined up and I'm going to go for fun times. Right, okay, so we got to get to the apoapsis. Periapsis even. Damn it! But we are quite on form to be doing this now. I'm pretty hopeful. I've had to re-record this episode several times today because I've tried a few different things out. Originally there were VTOL engines on it, but at some point during the course of the landing the aerospikes decided to disappear, and it only happened when I was using the VTOLs, or switching the VTOLs around from the mains to the VTOLs. Blah blah blah. VTOLs, they caused me too much efforts. Honestly, I do not understand why they did what they did, but just using one set of engines is going to be good enough. I could probably land it on the moon off this, I reckon. Oh, nice. We literally just passed the periapsis and now we're going up. Happy days. So, what is the APO now? Right, it's still above 200,000. That's good. I would have thought the aero braking would have slowed us down a little bit. But never mind. Right, okay, so we have this full tank and that full tank to do. Wicked. Right, no, I'm just planning this out now. So, jobs are good, and I don't know what we're going to do when we get to the moon. I'm going to refuel the ship. I'm probably going to take a little break because it takes about 10 minutes to refuel this bastard, and I am not kidding. And you can't even speed up time either. It's a little bit funny. I mean, there's probably... if I wanted to do it quicker, I could probably put more converters on, but I don't want to put any more weight than I need to on this. I mean, there was 2 VTOL engines on it before, and there was an ASAS on it before as well, but I've took that off in favour of the converter. There's always room for improvement when it comes to KSP. So yeah, keyframe. It's a really good mod. I've only recently just started using it. I mean, I've had it installed for ages, absolutely ages, but I've never really bothered to use it. And then I thought, right, sorry, I'm going to put 2 keyframe probes down on the moon, preferably right next to each other. And I went there and I refueled my first craft. And I was like, no way, this is pretty good. This is. But the first time I got there, I found out the issue of not being able to fill the tanks up, and that is when I learnt to disable the fuel tanks as you go through them. If you're going to use the keyframe mod, then make sure you do this. This is very imperative that you remember to turn off your fuel tanks and not let them completely run out. Very imperative indeed. As you can see, I'll just quickly throw up the converter tab. As you can see here, we've got no keyframe on board, but we've already got that kind of free space for fuel. We got no space for RCS, sadly, but I did have some on there. I took it off, it was useless, I got rid. Pumping, that will allow us to pump the keyframe. We can't pump fuel yet, but I think the mod creator is going to put that in at some point, so we can actually pump fuels between crafts. The probes don't have converters on, which means they're stuck there, despite the fact that they've got so much keyframe attached to them. That they're kind of stuck there. So I mean, it would be good if I could kind of refuel them again, but sadly that they are stuck there for life, for the rest of their days, until the keyframe's all gone, which I don't know if it does yet. I know it's been a little bit funny with my keyframe probes here and there. It's like I'll land and sometimes it'll say there's keyframe there, then I come back and it's like, oh no, it's gone, and then I'll log out, log in, and it's back again. It's a bit strange, no? Right, okay, how are we doing? Right, so I know we need to be about 3,200 meters. That's the kind of delta V we need to get to the moon. That's usually the case anyway. Right, keep ourselves on that marker. How are we doing? Right, I need to keep my eyes peeled on this thing. If I could spend like half of this tank just getting there, half of it getting into a decent orbit and low, then I can use the last of the full tanks and I can give myself quite a fat burn to slow myself down on the moon, I reckon. If it all pans out for me anyway. You should see how I've got to land this. I've got no RCS and I've got to land it on its wheels. It's going to be fun. But then again, I've done it before. That's not to say I'll do it again, but I have done it before. Secret sip. What's your beef? Airplane, why can't you stay on where you're told to? Let's get the yaw out. Now with extra yaw control, right, I want you to stay there and I want you to just do as you're told. Right, how are we doing? See, we're doing pretty good. That'll start expanding really quick now, that will. And we are just casually getting down to, well, we're over half of that tank left anyway. Oh man, it's a shame I haven't got much chance to upload stuff like this week, because there's another little thing I want to do for KSP. I want to do fan-made ships. Someone actually sent me a message. I forgot the guy's name. I have to check out. Asking if I could do him a shout out because he does craft on the Kerbal forums, and I said I would. And I got an idea to maybe get you guys to send stuff in to me, and I will test them out and fly them. If I think they're good enough anyway. You've got to pass the Pleborian rating system, and believe me, it's not easy. If you guys would like to see some of that, leave a comment in the comment section. I hope people watch this part of the video to like hear me say that, but it means more KSP videos for you, and it gets you guys a little bit more involved in the series, which is always a good thing, I suppose, as long as you guys don't start taking over. Jesus Christ. I don't mind the majority of you, but some of you out there are just like weird. Insult the entire fan base there, Pleborian. Well done.